Hello everyone, my name is Oluwanifemi Yesufu. I have made this video with the goal of educating you all on a topic not spoken of nearly enough. A topic I am personally very interested in, plastic pollution in the African Atlantic. And let me start by saying the African continent is truly amazing. It's the most culturally distinct continent on the planet, is rich in natural resources, and even more wealthy in culture and history. However, it also holds some of the highest poverty and mortality rates, lowest literacy rates, and its abundance of resources make it a prime site of all kinds of pollution. In fact, in 2015, 5 African countries, namely Egypt, Nigeria, South Africa, Algeria, and Morocco, were listed among the top 20 nations with the highest mismanaged plastic waste, with each generating between 0.31 and 0.96 million plastic tons per year. When looking at the bodies of water surrounding these areas, we see why these nations are ranked so highly on the pollution list. A quick look at the coast of Lagos, Nigeria, will show us exactly how bad plastic pollution is in the African Atlantic. Sediment samples collected from beaches in the state show that pellets, cloth fibers, and a lot of plastic fragments could be found in its waters. These high numbers of fragments suggest that poor plastic waste management and littering have essentially poisoned the water in the area. When taking a deeper look, we see not just plastic fragments, but a accumulation of objects, including but not limited to plastic bags, soda cans, plastic bottles, tires, and paint buckets. This is just a small example of one nation bordering the Atlantic. Others are suffering from similar, if not worse, conditions. This begs the question of how it was able to get so bad and what exactly can be done to remedy this problem. The first question can be answered with one word: consumerism. Many African nations are rich in population and have extremely high population densities. On average, the population of an African nation can range from the tens of millions to hundreds of millions, and this is likely to grow about 2% in the next 1 to 3 decades. These high population rates do a lot of good, bring about higher tax revenues and economic growth, but also bring about a lot of negatives. A big negative is the magic word mentioned earlier. A high population brings about high numbers of consumerism, fueled by large amounts of industrialization, buying, selling, and disposal. Most of these products are packaged in plastic containers, plastic bottles, plastic cans, and all other plastic goods. After these products have been used, proper waste management procedures are not adhered to, but in opposition, plastic trash is left on the streets, in gutters, and arguably worst of all, in streams, rivers, and eventually the Atlantic. As one would expect, this is not great for marine life at all. When looking at marine ecosystems within nations with the highest plastic pollution rates on the continent, we see that their marine ecosystems are essentially destroyed. In South Africa, where the population is high but waste management low, we can see the effects of poor waste management in full force. Studies found that plastic fibers found in bodies of water are causing major harm to South Africa's marine life. These microplastics are less than 5 millimeters in size, but make a huge impact. According to the research held, these small particles have poisoned thousands of animals, polluted the nation's waters, have destroyed noticeable amounts of water-based ecosystems all around the nation, and has hurt the fishing industry in shocking ways. This death of marine life and deterioration of marine ecosystems can be seen not only in South Africa or the other 5 nations stated previously, but all over the continent. However, there is some hope. Steps are being taken in the right direction, as the issue of plastics and their impact on marine resources has compelled the people to call on their governments to work to deal with plastics in their various nations. As a result of this, the Ministerial Conference on Fisheries Cooperation among the African states organized a 3-day conference among the Atlantic bordering African nations. Here, governments from all over the continent expressed their concern over the amount of plastics in their water, how this was killing marine ecosystems within, and how that was affecting fishing and leaving coastal fishing communities in poverty. Representatives from all nations involved came up with a multi-step plan to improve linkages that will promote the redemption of fishery stock and improve waste management and waste disposal practices in their respective nations. With pollution rates being as high as it's ever been, with the population growing and the need for plastic increasing, and with notable amounts of marine ecosystems already gone, it seems to be too little, too late. However, with African nations seemingly committing to change, there might be some hope for the future. Thank you so much for listening.